Hey, good morning, everybody. Outside markets are very low key this morning. Crude just pretty much steady, gold down a little bit, stock market pretty steady, so very quiet this morning considering what it has been doing when you come down in the morning. Um, Looking at December corn here, did almost exactly what we talked about yesterday. Went up, touched the 5 day, couldn't even get up to these other moving averages. Um, you know, Kind of fell apart a little bit off the highs for sure. Overnight so far, we're down 1.5 at 472 and 3/4. So it did break above the previous day's high yesterday, but just couldn't get above some of these moving averages. And as you can see, I mean, it's very weak. I mean, you would have guessed not too difficult for it to get up to that 481 482 mark yesterday, and it couldn't even manage that. We got to 478 and a half. Um, so yeah, pretty ugly right now. I would guess still lower in the cards. Obviously this swing low 469 and a half is your line in the sand to the downside to see if we're going to make it down to the 62% retracement of 465 and a half. I would say there's still plenty of time for that to take place. There's plenty of room on the RSI before we get to oversold. And as you can see, we can stay overbought and oversold for a little while. So we'll just see what time of the year it is once we get down to that point. I'm sure you'll have a bounce or two in here still that just won't break some of these resistance levels. We can probably get rid of this trend line now. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think things that will, as far as resistance that will hold you, are first the 5 day and the 50 day, which are now kind of converging at 476. You then have the 10 day and the 38% retracement line from this move down around 478 that are going to be difficult to get through. So just seems in the short term here like they're wanting and prepared to sell these things on any bounces that we get up to resistance. So again, I think weak. I think that this swing low 469 and a half. You break that, your first stop is going to be this 465 and a half. It just depends on the time of the year and when things start to get into kind of that weather premium time as to when we're going to find a low. But I will tell you that historically, it is more often than May than anything. So that is the time frame I'm looking for, is sometime in early May. But a lot of that will depend upon, where we get to, how quickly it goes down, what's the RSI doing at that point. A lot of other things in there too, but that's the first time frame I'm looking for. So a few weeks still yet, in my opinion. Jump over to beans. This is really cool. Yesterday we talked about this trend line. We talked about that being resistance, and look where we got to. We went straight up to 1159, which I mentioned yesterday. Could not get through that level. Really, it's amazing how they, watch or pay attention to these kind of imaginary lines, and they're not perfect. I mean, this line's not put on here perfectly. Sometimes you don't know, do you attach to this swing high? Do you attach to this swing high? You just try to find the most points of contact. But yesterday was perfect. Went right up to that 1159 mark, held off, sold off. Last night you did break above that by just 1/4 of a cent. Could not push through, so it's really respecting this and continuing this kind of sideways build-up action. It is definitely stronger than corn and wheat. Really pretty crazy how much stronger it is and how much stronger it's acting and the way the indicators look compared to corn and beans. So right now beans are up. November beans are up 3 at 1155 and a half. This is now a nice little swing high, so if you take out 1159 and a quarter, that gives you a pretty good indication that there will probably be some buying power if you can take that level out here today. And it may jump you up pretty quickly and try to challenge this high at 1164 that we talked about as kind of the line in the sand as far as closing above that level and getting us another push higher here. So this is interesting. We've got some separation here suggesting lingering upside momentum next 1 to 3 days. So that will be interesting to watch. So it's really, the differences between what corn is showing us and what soybeans are showing us is very drastic and hard to assess. So again, you just have to watch the price action, and if it gives you an opportunity to take advantage of something as you move into this time where we would typically be going down, then you just better be ready. So again, watching this take out this high of overnight 11.59 and a quarter, you know that might be a good sign for us as another leg up. Again though, now you've got kind of, it's hard to find the support level here because this is just so far down. At 11.35 with the swing low. I would say yesterday's swing low of 11.49 3/4, and then also any kind of a close below this 20-day at 11.48 and a quarter would be an ugly sign. Pretty low volume the last couple of days here, decreasing volume over the last couple sessions, so not a great sign as far as extending the move either. So we'll just have to see what it wants to do here in the overnight. Again, you just got to be careful. It is not a great time of the year to be seeing the markets make excessive moves higher right now, and especially with the action that they've shown up to this point. So anyway, everybody have a great day. Talk to you later.